in body or spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, People Look East. It's number 226 in the Great Hymnal, and the lyrics are on the screen.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, you are not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen because you are not seen, although your breath be rude. Unto the green holly, most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, that does not bite so nigh, as benefits forgot. Though now the waters warp, thy sting is not so sharp, as friends remember not. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly. Most friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. Then hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
Hi, greeters, would you please keep the doors closed as we do the opening words, please?
Whoever you are, wherever you go, may you know the stillness of winter and the call to love.
May you see the moon silvering the night sky, and let the dark of midnight plunge you into your truest self and fling you back out again to a world in need of who you are.
May there be the familiar carols you know by heart and new melodies to set you free. May there be feasting and frolicking kindness and wonderment.
And may there be wise people to follow a star in the east and to a child to teach us to love, and enough magic to let the imagination go wild, to let Christmas arrive with its enchantments, with its glitter, glow, and gold, to let what wants to be born break through.
May the presence of the holy crowd out fear, hate, and worry, and proclaim this moment that, that peace and goodwill might yet be breathed into the world, and a vow that we too can give birth to love wherever we go, whoever we are.
We light our chalice this morning, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. May it illuminate the world we feel called upon to serve with love and a sense of justice.
May we be carriers of its light of radical welcome and warmth into wholeness, into liberation, into the one circle of life. On this fourth Sunday of Advent, we also light the Advent wreath. The candles of hope, peace, joy, and love, reminding us to kindle the light within and give birth to love. Good morning. Welcome to this Sunday service of the Eno River Unitarian Universalist Fellowship here in Durham, North Carolina. My name is Reverend Daniel Trollinger, Executive Minister here. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, wherever you are, whatever your race or your gender identities, wherever you are on your spiritual journey and your search for truth, meaning, and liberation, we welcome you. If you're visiting for the first or second time, I invite you to rise and body your spirit. If you're on the live stream, please introduce yourself in the chat. Thank you for choosing to spend your Sunday with us. The Inquirers class for visitors and newcomers will resume on January 5th. If you have children or youth with you, they are welcome to join one of our religious exploration classes after the children are sung out at the time for all ages. Now would be a good time to turn off or into worship mode any device you have on your person. And a note about upcoming services. On December 24th, just 2 days from now, we have a service at 5 o'clock, which is our children's Christmas pageant, not to miss. And at 6 o'clock after that service in the fellowship hall, there'll be soup and cookies and all sorts of refreshments. So please join us for that. And then at 7, we will have our traditional Christmas Eve candlelight service. The following Sunday, we will be celebrating Kwanzaa. There's one service at 11, and that will be followed by a karamu or feast in the fellowship hall after. So we look forward to seeing you at any or all of those services. Now let's center ourselves, take a breath together, and let's welcome the gifts of this day.
Good morning, good morning. I welcome all of our smallest and mediumest and tallest folks to come on down. And really everybody to tune their ears toward a story. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Oh, some of our taller folks are coming down today. Wonderful to see our taller people. Yes, and our smaller people. Wonderful to see you also. Oh, and indeed, some more taller folks are coming down today. This is the tallest time for all ages we've had in a moment. Wonderful to see you. And some of our smaller folks, too. Wonderful to see you, too. And hello, hello. All right. So, today, when the adults here are engaging in the sermon's going to talk about ritual. How many people in the entire room have been to something that you would call a ritual? How many people have been to a birthday party? Is a birthday party a ritual? In a way. We can have personal rituals. We can have community rituals, we can have cultural rituals, we can have religious rituals. And winter solstice is one of those holidays that actually has a lot of rituals attached to it. Now, some of them are old, some of them are very old, some of them are ancient, and some of them are newer, and some of them we might even create. So in this tale, you will see mostly a ritual that I would say is a family creating ritual. Wait, what does family mean? What does family mean? What's one definition of family? Who's included in family? Yeah? A group of people who feel really close to each other. Yes. Do those people have to be related? No. Can they be related? Yes. Okay. So, good. We've nuanced that out. You hit that nuance right on the head there. All right, so this is a tale called Winter Solstice Wish. Get settled in for some darkness, because when was the winter solstice? It was yesterday. Does anybody know what time it hit at? 4:21, yes. Was it? No, it is correct, y'all. It is correct. To the minute. Was it 4:21 a.m. or p.m.? A.m., yes. I was not awake for that. Was anybody in this room awake for that? A few people might have been awake. Most of us were not. You might have been awake? All right, so let's read. In the shortest days of winter, when golden light disappears faster than a steaming cup of cocoa, we savor every drop of sunshine. We slurp down every moment, knowing that dusk soon lurks. This time of year, when our half of the planet tips farther and farther from the sun, we pass more and more hours in shadow, cold, night, until today, or yesterday, the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. Today we stretch the daylight as much as we can, trying to make it last. We beachcomb and build castles, grains of sand slipping slyly through our hands. In a way, this is also a great winter solstice book for North Carolina because it shows a beach rather than snow. Because y'all understand beach is better than snow. As the last fingers of sunlight stretch above the horizon, shrinking with each minute, we unpack our firewood, piling piece after piece, collecting them like candles for wishing. A wish for light, a wish for hope, a wish for renewal. Wish by wish, our pile grows until The day slips away. Night surrounds, envelops, embraces. How many people have ever thought about logs in a fire as candles before? Has anybody ever thought of that? I haven't thought of it before reading this book. So we search for the light. When fear prickles our skin, our hands reach for one another, squeezing in silent reassurance, a reminder, I am still here, a promise, I always will be. Now, I will tell you, I love the dark, because what's something we often do in the dark? We often sleep. Yes, Lily, one of my favorite things to do, sleep. Spot on. Then a match flashes, whooshes to life. Flame by tiny flame. Anybody out there got a little flame they could show us? Could anybody out there make some flames with their hands? We want to start with a little one, though. We're going to get bigger. Keep it small for now. The heat grows, building into a blaze. The amber flames lick the sky, savoring the star-speckled night. Show me the biggest flame you can make. What's the big flames look like? Oh, if you're down here, take a look at them out there. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Don't stop, don't stop. You need to entertain our folks here. Light reflects off the sand, creating an orb for us alone. We sit in the glow, in the heat, in the aura of wishes grown large, of the light we built together. Around the globe, other hands reach out, holding hope, holding space, holding one another. You see hints of other winter solstice traditions here. Not only this tradition that this family has, but traditions from other cultures and other spaces and other places. Now, when it's winter solstice, is it darker everywhere in the world? No. Exactly. Hands that span to the far side of the globe where others bask in a solstice of their own, the longest day of the year. So while it's the shortest day over here on the other side of the planet, it's the longest day. Here we rest easy, knowing that our side of the earth will little by little tilt back toward the sun, that tomorrow daylight will return, that it will grow and grow minute by minute, day after day, and that we will savor every drop together. So, think about this story as those of you who are heading to religious exploration head there, because I might ask you something about it once we get there. And good to see all of our small folks, good to see all of our tall folks, and see you soon.
Peace, salam, shalom. 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 Please take this time to turn and greet your neighbor, especially someone that you don't know.
can we close the doors, please? Thank you.
It's cold in these darkest days of winter, the land having turned its face away from the sun. But you are warm here, sleeping heavily under your down quilt, your worries scattered lifelessly about the rug where your mind dropped them. In your dream, you are following a white fox who trots through the frozen forest, leading you further and further away from the safety of your cabin. Where is he taking you? The way he darts between the trees, his thick fur lit only by the moon, makes him disappear for whole minutes. Many times you think you've lost him and begin to panic, only to glimpse the soft plume of his tail leading always just ahead. And now, what is that singing in the distance? A sound dissolves one dream into another as candlelight fills your bedroom. It's the children who are singing so beautifully. Do you know them? Yes, they are the same ones who, during the day, bicker over toys and leave clumps of porridge on the table, but are now revealed to be children of light. Leading them is a woman wearing a crown of fire and carrying a tray of coffee and yellow buns. The smell of saffron is the smell of the sun. She invites you to taste it. In Sweden, Lucia Day is celebrated on December 13th and combines pagan traditions from the Old Norse times with the Christian legend of the martyr Saint Lucy. Women and girls dressed as Lucia wear crowns of candles, bringing light and hope into the darkest time of the year around the winter solstice. My Swedish-American family has passed the tradition of celebrating Lucia down through the generations, and it has always been my favorite holiday. I love its simplicity: dark mornings, candles, coffee, warm, fragrant buns, the magic of hospitality. It's become one of my son's favorite too. And now my own childhood memories of walking down dark roads with my school friends in the pre-dawn, singing, and of having candle wax ironed out of my hair afterwards, while the sun begins to light the sky out the window, are overlaid by new memories of baking with my own child and singing with him as we wake my husband and my parents next door with a tray of golden buns and ginger cookies each year. I also co-organized the Lucia procession at the annual Scandinavian Christmas Fair in Raleigh and love bringing the beauty of this ritual to the larger community. This time of Advent, solstice, is a sacred time. This year, for me, it feels especially so, as I've been grieving the unexpected death of my oldest friend and attending to my father in the hospital after an accident. He's okay. These personal challenges on top of the collective grief so many of us are carrying as we process so many troubles in the world, the outcome of the presidential election, and what the results are likely to have in store for so many vulnerable people, both human and non-human, and places, and grapple with how to live well in these times. Blessedly, I feel the seasonal cycle and centuries of ancestors in the Northern Hemisphere are with me. So many of the holy days and rituals of the winter solstice time are about bringing what small light we can into the darkness of the season. from Advent to St. Lucia Day, to Martinmas, to Hanukkah, to Yule, and Christmas too. These holy days remind me to both protect and share what light I have, and to understand my small light as one precious part of the larger one. The sun will return to us in its time, and is always there, even when our part of the earth has turned away from its warmth and all seems dark. Sometimes there's not much to see by, but we find, as if by magic, that it's enough.
I invite you to join with me as I share these words of contemplation that are by Jan Richardson, who writes, "There is so much I want to say, as if the saying could prepare you for this path, as if there were anything I could offer that would make your way less circuitous, more smooth. Once you step out, you will see for yourself how nothing could have made you ready for this road that will take you from what you know to what you cannot perceive, except perhaps in your dreaming or as it gives a glimpse in prayer. But I can tell you, this journey is not about miles. It is not about how far you can walk or how fast. It is about what you will do with this moment, this star that blazes in your sky, though no one else might see. So open your heart to these shimmering hours by which your path is made. Open your eyes to the light that shines on what you will need to see. Open your hands to those who go with you, those seen and those known only by their blessing, their benediction of the road that is your own. We lift up both joys and concerns in this time. We lift up the concerns that are held by the world and that we too hold in our own hearts. We lift up the concerns for all those who are facing violence or war or any sort of trial right now all throughout the world, and even right here in our own towns, in our own neighborhoods. We lift them up and hold them in our hearts. We lift up all those who are facing difficulty as a result of climate change, climate displacement, the result of flooding, the result of fire, the result of change to our planet. And so we hold in our hearts our dear, dear planet. We lift up the concerns of those in this community. The spoken concern for for Dominique Grimes Medlin, and yes, John, Dominique's husband. Dominique just lost his beloved grandfather these past several days. And we lift up Lisa Jones, who is recovering from knee surgery. And we lift up all the concerns that go unspoken in this moment, but are our concerns nonetheless. And of course, we lift up joy, because joy is so necessary, allows us to hold these concerns in balance and allow us to build in our resilience. So we hold joy, and we look for joy in the moment. Joys that are expressed through our gratitude, things we might appreciate, things we might find delight in the moment. Let us not forget to do this. It is so needed. And we hold in our hearts any small thing that we might take action upon and might do, whether it's to a family member, a member of this community, or a member of the community beyond these walls. The small things that we might do to bring relief and sustenance to a world that so needs our action, our love, and our concerns at this time, and also our joy. And let us hold a moment of silence as we think about these things. Let us make it so. Amen, ashe, and blessed be.
We'll remain seated for our meditation hymn, number 55 in the gray hymnal, Dark of Winter, and the lyrics are on the screen. Dark of winter, soft and still, your quiet calm surrounds me. Let my thoughts go where they will, ease my mind profoundly, and then my soul will sing a song, a blessed song of love eternal, gentle darkness, soft and still, bring your quiet to me. Darkness, soothe my weary eyes, that I may see more clearly. When my heart is calm, comfort and caress me, and then my soul may hear a voice, a still small voice of love eternal. Darkness, when my fears arise, let your peace flow through me.
The holiday season comes with a set of traditions that evoke a spirit of joy and celebration, remembrance and ritual. Decorations are everywhere, chestnuts are roasting, gifts are wrapped, songs fill the air. Old friends that are dear to us gather near to us. Light one candle to bring us together with peace as a song in our heart. See the blazing Yule before us. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Or is it? In all the merrymaking, we may sometimes feel out of sync with the celebratory vibe of the season. Maybe it's been a hard year. Maybe we are present to those who are struggling or in need. Maybe we are present to our own struggles and needs. Maybe we remember those dear to us that are no longer here. In this time of year, when the darkness of long solstice nights collides with the brilliance of holiday lights, we might find it hard to express our losses or unburden heavy hearts. We may feel a bit tired or stressed or a mix of feelings. Reverend Kari Kopnick echoes this in a poem titled Blue Christmas, This Too Belongs. The sound of rain, not cheerful songs, a quiet rocking chair, not traditions of the season, the early sunset, not dancing lights, loss, tender heart, hollow soul, heavy days. Grief is welcome, a sacred part of the mourning, of the bereft, of the weeping, amidst the celebrating. This, too, belongs. This, too, is holy. It binds us to our ancestors, the earth and the stars. Yet still, a steaming mug of tea warms the belly. The dog wags its tail, the cat purrs. There are laughters and tears, and sometimes both beside the joy. This, too, belongs. Sharing human suffering is connection. Hearts like stones are held by all that is. Grief and light intertwined. This, too, belongs. Whoever you are, whatever you're feeling, we welcome you. It's okay to acknowledge feelings and be authentic the experience that we're having, and also, at the same time, be open to the gifts available and the traditions of the holidays. During this season, how can we engage the power of ritual within these traditions and communal gatherings? Rituals are intentional actions that help create meaning, connection, and even healing. They can be simple or elaborate, yet when we practice a ritual, we enact values that are important to us, like cultivating compassion or connection with loved ones. Rituals can provide a bridge that help us cross from one way of seeing to another, one way of being to another. Seasonal rituals align with the natural rhythms of life, prompting growth, reflection, and renewal. The lighting and decorating of a tree can be a special ritual and tradition, whether in the public square or in the living room. The tradition of bringing evergreens indoors during winter traces back to Saxon and Nordic practices. Whether from pagan roots or later variations, it's a form of sympathetic magic to bring light and light indoors in the darkest time of the year. It's a ritual of remembrance. I remember a time when I visited the National Christmas tree in Washington, D.C. with my family as a child. There was a sense of wonder, the lights, the decoration, cold night air, hot chocolate, carols being sung. There was a tree decorated for each of the 50 states and one giant national tree located all behind the White House, Washington Monument, standing right nearby. Fast forward many years, visiting my family in Maryland, then taking my own 3 young children at that time to give them a special experience like I had. It looked the same, trees decorated from all 50 states, monuments nearby, but it didn't feel the same to me. Even as I tried to see with the eyes of the child, I couldn't unfeel what I felt. I couldn't unknow what I knew about history, about politics, justice, and injustice. So much that did not change, or did, during my lifetime. My mind flashed to the 1980s, where I was at that very same spot of land in D.C., marching with thousands of people with the Reverend Jesse Jackson and the Rainbow Coalition. This recollection led to a labyrinth of forgotten memories of past life challenges and what did and did not change on my personal journey. I returned my attention to my children and the trees, but with a sense of loss and mixed feelings that were out of sync with festivals, holidays, and the like. What gives meaning to a tradition or a ritual practice? Is it the tradition itself, or is there something we bring to it? Today, December 22nd, we are on the cusp of multiple holiday traditions, from solstice to Christmas, Kwanzaa to Hanukkah. Each comes with a set of rituals that evoke a spirit of celebration and remembrance. Can you think of special ways you have participated in holiday traditions or rituals? Maybe it's in the passing down of an ornament from a loved one. Maybe it's in sharing a recipe or favorite dish at a meal. Maybe it's through music and singing, dancing, or decorating, gift giving and receiving. Within holiday traditions, there are very specific rituals that help us connect with ourselves, with our family, with our community, and to something bigger, something larger outside of ourselves. Rituals invite us into the present moment with renewed awareness and care. Performing deliberate symbolic actions with a specific intention can have a profound impact on our emotional state, fostering a sense of connection and purpose. So, what makes a ritual, and how is that different than a tradition? A tradition is a belief or practice that's generally passed down from generation to generation within a particular culture or society. It can also refer to a long-established practice or set of beliefs used by a particular group. A ritual is a container around a moment, like a frame. It has a beginning and an end and an intention. It can have words, like a prayer or blessing. It can have symbolic elements and actions. Rituals can act as a tool to access deeper states of consciousness and facilitate personal transformation. Rituals in the face of loss can help us process grief. Rituals with families can help us feel closer. Personal rituals can help us deal with difficult emotions, manage stress, and perhaps regain a sense of control. A number of years ago, I was helping a friend through a hard time. An anniversary of their father's passing brought up a cascade of emotions, and they couldn't get past the past. They had a very complicated relationship with their father, with significant unfinished business on the emotional level. I offered the idea of creating a ritual as a way to honor both the difficult feelings and the incomplete relationship. How, they asked, how would I do this? So we planned it out together. A ritual needs an intention, a point of focus. There's a beginning, an action in the middle, and a completion. It can have words, movement, silence, song. Then there's the practical, where, when, who. Prepare the outer space and prepare the inner space as well. It can have one or more common ritual elements, fire, water, earth, air, plus symbolic elements that support the intention, in this case, facilitating healing and forgiveness with their father. So they put a personal ritual together in a unique way that fit their need in that moment. They chose to do this alone at their father's grave in a different state. Their father loved baseball, so they brought a baseball symbolic element, a candle, fire, flower, earth, and spoke out loud, air. They wrote a long letter and read it to their father in spirit at his grave to speak the unspoken, the unfinished, the hurt, the love. Then they burned the letter there, cried, and sat for a very long time. When my friend returned home, they acknowledged that, while not completely healed, something had shifted. It felt different somehow. Rituals create a space, a sacred space, where we can meet life and be present with it as it is, in a different way. Rituals provide a way to transform the limits of the mind and open new spaces within the heart. Rituals point to the very essence of presence and remind us, reveal to us who we really are. Rituals can provide a bridge to help us cross from one way of seeing the world to another, one way of being to another. One very simple element of ritual is lighting a candle. What happens when we light a candle? Well, on the literal level, there's light, there's warmth, ambiance. What happens when we light a candle in ritual, with intention, with thoughtful words, in community? We practice this every Sunday when we light our chalice. When we light the chalice in worship, it signals the entry of the gathered community into sacred space. The rhythms and concerns of our everyday life remain, but they're held in a larger context. This ritual also serves to illuminate a world that we feel called upon to serve with love and a sense of justice. Candle lighting is a ritual that shows up in many faiths and practices, especially in seasonal celebrations. Let's start with the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year in the northern hemisphere. Cultures around the world have long held celebrations around winter solstice. Fire and light are traditional symbols, which include lighting Yule logs and bringing evergreens indoors. Sarah Rose shared a beautiful story of her family tradition of celebrating St. Lucia's Day, a festival of lights connected with the solstice. Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of lights, incorporates a ritual that symbolizes how one day's worth of oil miraculously lasted for 8 days. Blessings are recited before the menorah is lit, and traditional songs are sung afterwards. Special foods, games, and gift-giving are also part of the 8-day celebration. Kwanzaa is a cultural holiday now celebrated throughout the world, where families and communities come together to honor the ancestors, affirm the bonds between them, and to celebrate African and African American culture. Celebration includes songs, dances, storytelling, and a large feast, or karamu. Candles are lit on the kinara for each of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. These seasonal traditions are celebrated in different ways, but the origins all stem from this human, universal impulse to create meaning through ritual. And what about December 25th? Christmas as a celebration has evolved over the centuries, but let's focus just on the candle part for right now. The use of the wreath and candles during Advent are a long-standing tradition that was originally adopted by Christians in the Middle Ages as part of their spiritual preparation for Christmas. An Advent wreath is typically made of evergreen branches and holds 4 candles, one for the 4 weeks of Advent: hope, peace, joy, and love. Even though numerous cultural forces have influenced the way Christmas is celebrated, we have stories and movies and Madison Avenue marketing, we can still find our way back to the core message of bringing light into the world: love's pure light. And we can still find ways to appreciate the gifts inside even all those cultural wrappings. Together, how can we open our eyes and our hearts and find new ways to honor traditions and celebrate rituals that are meaningful, inclusive, and welcoming? Together, how can we engage seasonal traditions with a renewed sense of meaning, perhaps a re-intention to the familiar? Here are 3 ideas for the practice of ritual. Decorating. Maybe it's a tree, a house, a cake, a gingerbread house, a table for a meal. Maybe it is you, yourself. What will you wear for a special occasion? Now, it may seem a little obvious in the season of celebrations to see decorating as a ritual, but let's lean into this. What is something you can give meaning to by bringing a fresh intention to decorating as a ritual? A ritual action to bring joy, color, beauty, and light into the world. Gift giving and receiving. How can we bring a fresh intention to this ritual act? I'm going back to something I shared 2 weeks ago. Slow down. The whole process. When opening a gift, use all of your senses. Touch it, see it, sense it, and then offer a response in gratitude. I open, thank you, these socks will keep my feet warm. No matter the gift, what is there to acknowledge and appreciate? Light a candle. What can you bring to this ritual act that is new or fresh? This past week at the Jazz Vesper service, there was a candle lighting ritual. The new perspective I chose was by simply being present to the lighting process. I didn't know what was in the hearts of people as they came forward, but in being fully present to the ritual, I felt moved by the sense of reverence and care that was being offered in this simple act of lighting a candle in community. To light a candle in remembrance as an act of resistance, as a gift of light to the world, as a bridge to seeing life in a new way. However you choose to celebrate the holidays this year, no matter whether you're feeling festive, stressed, or less than your best, even if there are mixed feelings, gratitude, grief, pensive, peaceful, subdued, or celebratory, remember this too belongs. Please give yourself permission to be how you are, how you feel, and what is possible when we remember the power of ritual. Know that in the midst of all of it, your light is the gift the world needs right now. Either in community or in the sacred space of your own being, find a way to cultivate that light and share it. In the season of giving, what is it that you would really like to give, to share, to be? When we share our light, remember the words of Sufi poet Rumi: a candle never loses any of its light by lighting another candle. Your light is the gift the world needs right now. Create your own ritual, your own sacred space to remember the light within, and give birth to love. May it be so.
This is my moment of appreciation and gratitude. Wasn't Reverend Daniel just awesome? I so delight that I get to serve with Reverend Daniel and Reverend Jim as well. It's a nice balance for me and all this energy I have. But anyway, as we all know, it takes a lot to create what we have here at ERUUF, to build and be beloved community. It takes our time and our talent. And what I have noted, particularly over this last month, so much time and so much talent has been given by so many, and for that I am constantly grateful. As we take up our offering today, you may give something into the offering pouches that are going to come your way. But I do want to let some of you know who may not be aware of this. I sent a special email out to some of you this past week, and it was also in e-news, that we have been the recipients of an astounding challenge grant by a member of this congregation who has given us a challenge grant of $250,000 that we have been asked to meet 1 to 3 so that we might raise $750,000 by January 31st. So lest you think this might be impossible, know that we are already more than halfway there, because when I mentioned this to some of our long-standing members who have been members of ERUUF for many, many years or several decades, we have now raised $380,000 of that $750,000. And so, yes, pause for applause. So much generosity by so many. And so we hope that everyone would join in this effort. It is an effort that would allow us to have $1 million by January 31st. And we will use that in ways that will build up some of our existing funds, but it will also give us an opportunity to be in a strong position as we move into the months and even years that are coming ahead, that we wonder what will they bring to us. And so that we can not only care for the people here in this community, but offer our care to people outside of this community as well. We are going to be needed. This place is going to be needed as a haven for so many who will need a place to go, a place where they can be accepted, a place where they know they are cared about and they can be who they are. And so I invite you to do that if you wish. You can point your device to the QR code on the screen. That QR code, whether you wish to just make a give to our Sunday giving, which is fine, or you can give to this effort, and no gift to that effort as you consider your end of year giving is too small. And you can also, some of you might want to consider it as part of your beginning of the year giving as well in January. So if you point to that QR code, you will be taken immediately to this special campaign. And then if you want to drop down and just give for Sunday, that's appreciated by us as well. So if the greeters would come forward, and if you have anything with you that you would like to place in the pouches, please do. We appreciate all the gifts of this beloved community.
Infant lowly, for his bed a cattle stall, oxen lowing, little knowing, Christ the babe is Lord of all. Swift long awaited, celebrated, babes are born each day and night, precious strangers laid in mangers, or on bedding clean and bright, new hearts beating, old hearts warming, blessed greeting, all transforming. Every birth brings love's pure light, brings love's pure light, love's pure light. Every birth brings love's pure light. Every birth brings love's pure light, brings love's pure light, brings love's pure light.
So we give thanks for all the gifts of this beloved community. Hey, you, come back. Did you all notice who was singing? Yes. And to all of these women who brought this music to us this morning, thank you so much. You sounded beautiful. And so we give thanks for everything that we create together in community. And with that, I'll turn it over to you and everyone else for our closing hymn.
Please rise in body or spirit. Join us in singing Joy to the World, number 245 in your gray hymnal, or you can read the lyrics on the screen.
From Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt, the UUA president. These are heartbreaking and uncertain times, and this moment needs us. People of faith who put love at the center, work boldly to widen the circle so that all might feel that expansive love that held us for so many generations, and do it all with a commitment to communal care. As we gather for the holiday celebrations with family and friends and our wider communities, may we carry a sense of love, communal care, and connection. May we cherish moments of joy and pleasure among those we love, and may we continue to connect with those who struggle with isolation and loneliness during the holidays. May we reflect on our renewed commitments to justice and compassion in 2025 together. May it be so. Go in peace, go in love.
was. It was great.